When you come across or collide with a person or element who runs counter to what you embrace as an important part of either your person or society, you have a choice to make at that point in time. You can either confront that attack or conform to it in some way. When it comes to battling radical Islam, my next guest says that America and the Obama administration can gain some lessons from, of all people, Vladimir Putin. Here to share these lessons is Iraqi-born Islam scholar and author of Lifting the Veil, The True Faces of Muhammad and Islam, Volumes 1, 2, and 3. He's also a member of the Advisory Council for the Intelligence Summit. We say good morning to iqalrassooli. Good morning, sir.
Good morning for having me.
Let me give you the website, too. We can get the truth. That's how I can best sum up what IQ, which, by the way, is an alias for, as you'll see when you go to in the name of Allah.org, why an alias is necessary, because some people tend to get violent, IQ, when you present them with the truth, do they not?
Always. Islam cannot tolerate truth and facts, because the truth and facts about Islam shows it for what it is. It's vile, vile, vile. I know to the politically correct, left-wing, right-wing, whoever they may be, as long as they're politically correct, they're dimwits. They cannot tolerate facing facts and reality. For most Americans who know very little about Russia, Volgograd, where Islamic terrorists have slaughtered dozens of innocent civilians, used to be called Stalingrad under the Soviet Union. Hence, Volgograd now represents Russia's resolve and stamina to overcome not only Nazi fascism, but now to defeat Islamofascism. The Muslims in Russia and in the previous parts of the Soviet Union are using the Olympics as Sochi to test Russia's and in reality Christianity's resolve to defend itself, because accurately speaking, Obama and his administration have been and continue a process of demonizing Christianity and Christians for the last 6 years, while supporting Islam and especially the Muslim Brotherhood at all times. Furthermore, contrary to the deliberate attempts by the so-called liberal media in the USA and Europe to besmirch Vladimir Putin as a Stalinist thug, he is, on the contrary, a born-again Russian Orthodox Christian who has the full backing and support of the Russian church leader, Patriarch Kirill, and most of Russia. Although Putin was part of the Soviet hierarchy, his mother made sure he was baptized. And she used to take him to church on Sundays with the full knowledge of his communist father, who wisely chose to ignore the issue. Putin today is actually the Tsar of Russia. By this I mean he embodies and holds both the spiritual and secular powers of the state. I'm not here to support or condemn homosexuality, but I'm explaining to our listeners the facts that the media will not bring to the attention of the American public because of their deliberate duplicity, hypocrisy, and cowardice. Their attacks against Putin's issue with public displays of homosexuality are deceitful and malicious, since he is only following his belief in the Bible, while the same despicable media, academia, and politicians in the USA and Europe cravenly ignore the fact that in the Muslim world, homosexuals are being hanged by the dozen, especially in Iran. Why is it accepted by the same dishonest and duplicitous media to ignore Muhammad's Quran's abhorrence of homosexuality, but attack Christians who believe in their Bible? The answer is simple: cowardice. Because they know that if they condemn and address the issue of Islam and homosexuality, they would be blown to bits, while Christians would not slaughter them. Ladies and gentlemen, Putin today is looked upon by most of the world as the foremost leader. Obama, on the other hand, has squandered American goodwill among friends and brought about undeniable contempt by her enemies. Geopolitically, the USA is now considered unreliable and without resolve. Not a single leader of worth trusts Obama, among the Arabs especially, because of his inability to keep any of his promises and his unwillingness to confront aggression. Japan, Egypt, Korea, Israel, and others are looking to Russia and to China for mutual support.
IQ, I want to take you back to 2009 as maybe the best thumbprint that the person listening can attach themselves to what you just said. What was your reaction when Obama made his speech in Cairo back in 2009, where he basically gave Islam credit for everything that modern industrial society consists of?
Ladies and gentlemen, I was born in Iraq. My mother tongue is Arabic. I was sick. I was sick listening to the duplicities and the lies. I mean, the man, Obama, was lying from A to Z. Islam, especially the Arabs, were not a civilized people. They had no civilization. They were hordes of nomadic people. They were like the Huns in Europe. They conquered 3 civilizations. They subjugated 3 civilizations. The Christian Byzantine Empire, the Sassanid Persian Empire, and in Europe, they conquered Europe. They conquered India. They did not contribute anything. If somebody wants to challenge me, with all due respect, if they have the backbone and the knowledge, please do so. Call in, prove me wrong. I have over $1 million worth of challenges. I don't have these challenges for fun or to boast, not at all. It's to prove a point that there is no human being on planet Earth who can back their point of view against me and win. They don't exist. For 5 years, I've had over $1 million worth of challenges. I haven't lost a dime. Obama lied. Obama is not an American citizen. Obama does not support America. Obama, before he was elected, he never raised his hand against his heart when the flag was raised, when the national anthem was sung. He didn't even have the American flag on his lapel. Does anybody notice? But after he became president, he's got the American flag on his lapel. Doesn't mean anything. He has destroyed America. Who am I to say these things? Well, I'm the outsider looking in. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat, so I don't have any access to grind. I reveal to you the facts. If you think you know better than I do, come against me. Before he was elected, he said he will bring America together. Ladies and gentlemen, today America is more divided than ever before in its history. Politically, economically, theologically, racially, you name it, is divided. He said he will bring the deficit down by 50%. When he took over, it was $9 trillion. Today, you're going up to $18 trillion. You elected him twice, ladies and gentlemen. And you are thinking of electing Hillary Clinton. I mean, if somebody wants to commit suicide, well, that's the way to do it. Back to you, sir.
Talking with iqalrassooli. InTheNameOfAllah.org is his website, full of details, and as I mentioned, the truth and the facts. And you'll listen to Issues and Ideas. He's also the author of Lifting the Veil, The True Faces of Muhammad, and Islam, Volumes 1, 2, and 3. The stories we heard in Russia as the catalyst for the bombings that have taken place have been for the separatists who the Tsarnaev brothers and the Boston Marathon bombing associated themselves with. The media sort of glosses over, neglects to mention that fact. And the Islamists in Russia are upset over a court ruling regarding public definition of the Quran, which they were unhappy about and are certainly displeased by. When you look at how Obama addresses a concern or an issue, he telegraphs. He is like the boxer that's going to get knocked out by telegraphing the move he's going to make, where people are looking at what Putin's doing as a response to everything that's taking place, and they're saying, well, geez, he's not saying anything. Does that mean he's not doing anything? Isn't it safe to assume that Putin's doing plenty? He's just not going to telegraph it until he can bring the bodies out in a coffin.
Absolutely. By the way, there is no such thing as a radical Muslim. There is no such thing as an extremist Muslim. Islam is radical, is extreme, and they're not only against Russia. Islam has divided humanity into 2 parts. 1400 years ago, Muhammad declared war and divided humanity into 2 parts. Those who believe in Allah and Muhammad, and those who do not believe. Currently, today, ladies and gentlemen, Muslims constitute 20% of humanity. We, the non-Muslims, whom I call Ummat al-Kuffar in Arabic, which means the nation of infidels, constitute all Christians, Buddhists, Hindus, Jews, atheists, agnostics, that is, anyone who's not a Muslim. We are 80%, while 20% of Islam in 57 Muslim majority states are the least productive, least inventive, least creative in human history. We, the non-Muslims, are the most productive, most inventive, most creative, and most powerful in human history, and yet our leaders are running scared like a chicken without a head. Now you tell me, what is wrong?
Well, I just want to close out this segment with IQ with the truth that he presents, and it is the direct, accurate translation of the Quran. 356, I will make the disbelievers suffer severely in this world and the next. 8:12, I shall put terror into the hearts of the disbelievers, strike off their heads and cut off each of their fingers and toes. 9:5, kill them, seize them, besiege them, ambush them. If you add to that the modus operandi of the Muslim Brotherhood to infiltrate, lie if you need to infiltrate, and then take over, how much more of a wake-up call does a free society need? And, for those who are critical of Vladimir Putin for whatever his social choices, decisions are, IQ explained the foundation for those, though. Hopefully you understood that. Nevertheless, what Putin is doing as a response to Islamic terrorism, I think, is a lesson that will hopefully bond all the powerful nations together to beat back what is indeed an invasion through infiltration that's taking place in more countries, more places to a greater degree than too many people are willing to admit. In the name of Allah.org is IQ's website. iqalrassooli, thank you so much for the ways that you provide people with the truth and the wisdom that they need to take the people who are decision makers and make sure they make the right decisions or get people in to do the right thing. Thank you so much for the way you do that.
Thank you for having me. God bless you. You take care.